Have you used perhaps your youth or your younger years to your advantage?
I don't know because I've never been old as a manager, so I don't know which age has more advantage. Yeah, if you're a young guy, you know about the interests of your players. Perhaps the language is special of young players, and you understand the language. There are some special words older managers will not understand. There are still some words I don't understand because I'm too old for this. But at the end, you speak the same language, so it could be it could be an advantage to be young, but you do not have the experience. So. There are advantages and disadvantages if you're young or old. I do not know what is better because I'm young and I like to be young. I try to stay young, as you mentioned at the beginning. I try to stay young, and yeah, it's easy for me to understand the interests of my players. So perhaps that could be an advantage, but at the end, I have to get yeah, more games. I have to learn every minute the same, like for my young players, the same things for, like my team mates. So at the end, I don't know if it's better to be young or better to be old.
Do you still have your skateboard?
Yes, I have two now. I have two skateboards. One for a normal street, and one for streets who are not good in shape.
Okay, excellent. Your squad's young. You're young yourself. Do you feel that perhaps the experience value which people put to football and success is sometimes sort of overvalued or overstated?
I do not know, but I think experience is important. Is still important because if you get used to different situations and you handle it in a special way, and then you learn some things if you handled the special ways, and then in the future, if you have nearly the same situation, perhaps you know what to do, and you know better what to do. So experience is still a very important part of being successful, but it's not the only part. It's perhaps not the most important part, but it's still an important part. So yeah, it's important for a young club always to qualify for the Champions League, to get these experiences and knockout stages, and to be face to face to the best teams in Europe and face to face to the best managers in Europe, to get more experience. But you cannot buy it. You have to feel it, and you have to make experience game by game, and then you could learn, you can improve, and that's a big topic. So that's why it's so important to qualify for the Champions League, or to qualify for the Euro League, to have more games during a season, and to improve every game. And at the end, everybody, all the players, and also me, getting older, we're getting more experience. So perhaps we're getting better. And then at the end, we will see if experience is so important or not.
Do you have a preferred tactic that you use? Because I was trying to work out your preferred tactic by looking at a few of the games you played, and I've come up with about 10, and I can't quite figure it out. So do you prefer playing three at the back? Do you prefer playing 3-5-2, four at the back? I mean, talk me through it.
I do not prefer a formation because it's only numbers. I think we have principles. We want to play with these things. We try to adapt on the opponent. We do not adapt the way of playing soccer and our philosophy, but we adapt the formation. We try to find the right spaces on the pitch. We try to find the right moments when we can attack, and try to attack in numbers up. So I always try to find a formation that allows us to be good on the pitch, and to be the winner at the end of the game, and try to allow us to bring our philosophy on the pitch. So most of the time, the last season Hoffenheim, I play with three in the back, but at the end, I try to adapt on the opponent, and if 2 or 4 in the back is better, or only 2 central defenders, or we need 3 central defenders, then I adapt. But I do not think about formations that often. I know journalists try to think about formations because it's the easiest thing to recognize and to see on the pitch, but it's only when the first whistle starts at the game, then you see the formation, and then it's always weird. You never find a 4-3-3 20 times in the first half or second half, only at the beginning of the game. So it's all about things they learn to do in every phase of the game, and not about formation.
And when you're a successful club like Leipzig, and you're in sort of the business end of competitions. Other teams in Europe start trying to get your players. You've got a defender, Mr. Upamecano, who I imagine just about everyone in Europe would want in their team. How confident are you can hold on to him, and how integral is he to what you're doing at Leipzig?
Yeah, he will be here for this season. I'm sure about that. In the future, I do not know, because he's very, very talented, and there are a lot of clubs who want to buy him. I think that's normal. Perhaps next season could be real that he will leave the club, but this season he will stay. That's normal if you work with young guys, with young talented guys, and to try to find young talented guys on the transfer market, and you sign them and you improve them, and they develop in the right direction. Then it's normal that there will be bigger clubs who try to buy these players. You have to deal with that. You always have to be one step forward when you buy new players, when you try to find new players on the transfer market. So that's the most important topic. Our scouting should be very good. Decisions should be right, and they are very important. In the past, Oliver Minzler, Ralf Rangnick did a lot of good decisions on the transfer market. It's also a big topic and a big game for the future, because there will be clubs who think about Konate, Upamecano, Nkunku. These are very, very talented young guys, but that's the philosophy of the club, to buy these young guys, and then it also should be a philosophy to sell them when there will be bigger clubs who want to buy them. So at the end, it's normal. It's hard to find the successes, and it's hard to improve every season. It's important to improve, but it's not that easy when the best players will leave the club. But it's like that, and so we have to try to find good successors for the future.
Jurgen Klopp was talking about you, and he said he's however old he is now, and he can't believe you're 33. He's kind of worried that you might have 40 more years as a manager, and the stress it might take on you. How do you kind of look at your own, your next few years? I saw that you might want to end up living in the Alps. Is that right? As a guide in the future, and then maybe possibility. Yeah, and maybe only do it for another 15 years or whatever. I mean, do you think that far ahead, or are you focusing more on the present?
I think the present is more important. It's normal that if you're a human being, you try to plan your life. I think that's normal. I try to plan my career as well, but in soccer, it's really important to live day by day, because it's gone fast and still a progress, and you do not know how successful will be the next season, and if Leipzig want me to be their manager and then in the next season as well, perhaps there will be a bigger club who want to buy me. You never know. Soccer is a very fast business, always moving, and I try to plan my career, and I know that I'm very young, and I know that at the moment I could not imagine to be manager for 30 more years, because you have no time for your family, you have no time for another hobbies. You still, most of the time, you're on the pitch, or you're in different stadiums, and you watch videos when you have free time to get new players. So there's most of the time you have to do something to be better in the future. So at the moment, I could not imagine to be a manager for, 25 or 30 more years. But perhaps if I won my first title and then I get more hungry, and I want to win more titles, perhaps I stay as a manager. I could not plan this exactly, but it would be perfect in the future if there will be a life after soccer, where I can still move as a normal human being. I can do my hobbies in the Alps, and all the things I could not do in the past because of my job and because of try to be a professional player. I want to do in the future, and would be great to join these things.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.